Alrighty guys, let's talk RPE. I'm sure this is a term you guys have heard that's been thrown around before, either in other programs you've followed in the past or just things you've seen online. RPE is the rate of perceived exertion. It's pretty much a simplified way of just determining how hard a set was during training. This isn't something you'll necessarily have in your program, but it's something to have a grasp of, just so you have an understanding of how hard you are really pushing yourself during your sets. Pretty much for RPE, we really only go from a scale of 5 to 10. Anything less than a 5 really isn't a hard enough effort to cause any sort of stimulus. So when we look at an RPE of 5, that's going to be you had 5 more reps in the tank. So let's say you're doing a set on the machine chest press, which is a video I'm going to overlay over this one. If you say it was an RPE of 5, you're saying, hey, you know what, if I needed to, I probably could have pushed out another 5 reps in that set. As we go down the line, we've got RPE 6, which is 4 more reps in the tank, 7, 3 more, 8, 2 more, 9, 1 more, and an RPE of 10 is no reps left. If you say a set was an RPE of 10, that means there is no way in hell that you could have gotten another rep out. That's really important to think about here. When we are trying to gain muscle or gain strength or anything like that, we are really going to be looking in the RPE from 7 to 10 range. So anything from 3 more reps in the tank to no reps left in the tank. Especially for hypertrophy, this is super important to think about, because if we're sitting at an RPE of 5 or 6, we're not going to be stimulating growth with those sets. So the other thing I'm going to cover with this is the 0.5s that you'll see on the whiteboard here. So this means maybes. So let's say you write down an RPE of 7.5. That means you definitely could have gotten 2 more, but you maybe could have gotten a third. So let's say if it was an RPE of 9.5, that's you going, I maybe could have gotten another rep. It definitely wasn't a 10, but it maybe wasn't a 9 either. So that's what the 0.5s are thrown in there for. So next thing I'm going to do is overlay that video of me doing a set of machine chest press, pretty much just showing you guys where I would determine what is an RPE of 7, an RPE of 8, RPE of 9, and an RPE of 10 through that set. So you guys can get a good idea of how hard you're actually pushing yourselves in your workouts. Alright, so my main goal on this set of chest press was to really show you guys what it looks like to push to an RPE 10. So all of these first reps do not even fall on the scale. They are way too easy. Once I get to about this rep here, I'd put that in RPE 5. I'd say at that point we're starting to struggle. Now we're at about a 6, we've probably got 4 reps left in the tank. About a 7 there, reps are starting to slow down, but we can still do a few more. That's going to be an 8 there. We're fighting, but we've probably got 2 more in the tank there. See, we push through. That's going to be an RPE 9. We've probably got 1 more. We push, 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 and that is an RPE 10. There is no way I could have gotten another rep. Alrighty, now we've watched that video back. The one last thing I will mention is RPEs of 5 and 6 are likely going to be used in deload or low intensity weeks. So let's say we've managed to smash like 6 to 8 weeks of really good training in a row, and we are starting to feel a bit burnt out and a bit fatigued. This might be where we might do a week of training where we're only going to an RPE of 5. That way it's going to give our body a bit of time to recover. We're still getting in a bit of work, but nothing too crazy. And this RPE system is definitely not something you have to use in the long term. I'll normally teach this to clients at the start just so they've got a good idea of what intensity they're pushing during their sessions. But once you have an understanding of that, it's not necessarily something you have to track. Because once you've got that understanding, you'll know, okay, I finished that set, I probably could have done 2 more. That means that was a solid set. You might finish a set and be like, wow, I feel like I could have gotten another 6 or 8 reps, which means you know that you could have pushed that bit more and gotten a bit more out of that exercise. It's just something to think about in your training. Make sure we're keeping that intensity up to within that RPE 7 to 10 range for most of our exercises, and those gains are just going to get even better. If you guys have any questions about this at all, feel free to DM me on any of my socials. Can be Instagram, YouTube. If you are one of my clients, can be directly through my app as well, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have.